Gotcha. The other thing, we have been in some discussions with an outfit about solar construction on little flat top. The individual has property available that that his and his group purchased. I think they originally intended it for homes or something. They now like to market that, and they've come to us with recommendations on putting some solar there. They, in their own mind, have decided we should have 40 megawatts of solar up there, and that we have access through the RUS, Rural Utility Service. Federal government has made monies available to them for solar projects. We have we have access to that cash, and it's low interest money, like 1% or less on interest. So they would like us to bring that to the mix either through a purchase power agreement or directly, about $60 million. Here is our approach to it, or thoughts on it. First is we don't need we don't need the resource until 2018 probably. This group has to be online by the end of 2016 in order to take advantage of some government subsidies. So our timing doesn't fit. The quantity is probably more than our system can handle at 40 megawatts. Half of our system load in solar is probably not going to be a good match for us. The hydro that we use to great advantage would be used up in regulation for that solar to some extent. So not a good match for 40 megawatts. Those things said, where do you get the money? What does that organization bring to Overton that Overton doesn't have or can't supply to itself? I think in the coming months you'll see some recommendations come, or at least some discussions held on how Overton should enter into a solar program. We think in our discussions that it should be incremental, about 500 kW at a time. As we've looked at equipment, that's an economy of scale that would work. You stair step into that over time. We have the land available. We don't need lands in order to complete we have existing properties we can build on. We have access to the capital, and we certainly have in-house skill to install, maintain, and run that type of project. So while that organization, I think, is anxious to see a return on their investment on that property, it may not match well with the needs of Overton Power. And we're certainly open to the possibility. We believe at this time we can do that every bit as cheap and more functionally fit the needs of the power district. So, but that's an ongoing discussion we'll have. We have till, takes you a year to build some of this stuff. We have till the end of 2016, 2017 in order to start installing that in preparation for 2018. One of the other big issues, they would like us to deal exclusive with them as an open body. We're obligated to go out with a proposal for future load and consider anyone who would like to make an offer on that. So those are some of the obstacles we face with their proposal.
Problem is you need backup power for any solar you get. So we've got to have a marketing tool there.
Certainly, if you're going to do 40 megawatts, you need some way to get it to somewhere besides Overton Power, and there is no path for that.
It's not big enough to absorb that.
Now, can we stair step into some and get up to 2, 3, 4 megawatts and maybe make that work without exhausting the flexibility of our hydro? I think that's worth exploring. They're talking.
That 40 megawatts dumped onto our system, what's our infrastructure?
Yeah.
Is it going to handle it?
They haven't performed the studies to know that yet.
Well,
Their indication is nobody as far as other utilities, has experienced any problems, but that's not been my experience in talking to people, but it would take a specific engineering study to determine what the effect would be, and they haven't been.
I would guess $40,000 to
Yeah.
$40,000 range, just off the top of my head, to do that kind of an engineering study. We've done them in the past with Nevada Power for flow criteria and how your relays are going to be affected by an interruption in flow there and stuff. So,
Who owns the property?
I don't know the name of the company per se. Mark Keepin is the individual we deal with on that. So, if you have any questions or are going to have a meeting with them, we'll certainly make part of staff available. They've been to visit with staff, and we'll certainly make available a staff member to attend those discussions.
What are they looking at for costs?
They're looking at about 6 cents, less than 6 cents, but that's with any number, you can torture them until you get them to say what you want. I think there's some tortured numbers there.
And once they run out of their subsidy on it,
They would like us to consider purchasing the facility after about 8 years.
After capital out.
Well, after they've taken the profit out of the project. And I think that's standard with any developer. That's not an unusual business practice. I look at it and go, though, why would we build something that meets our needs and do it in-house and save? That's a more responsible approach to our customers than to, if we were going to do something, I would suggest a short-term purchase power agreement for renewables while you develop your own in-house program, something like that, rather than.
sure, it turned being how long?
I would do less than 5 years. That would be the longest I would go out, would be 5.
Well,
2,
do
3
do they
years.
anticipate being different than other green power outfits who get the subsidies, get the up and running, as soon as the subsidies disappear, they go bankrupt?
They give me some heartburn. They have a dual tracking system that they indicate or feel is reliable. That's a parasitic float. It's an area that's where you're going to experience some maintenance costs. And the K-Roads project that's going in is in a fixed array, so it stays in one place all the time. And so, I don't know, I just think it's a go slow, be careful with this type of investment. They'd like to hurry up and get it done, and we have time and they don't, and so there's a built-in conflict there. They're out to make money, we're out to serve our customers. So, anyway, that's just an update on what we've been doing with them in the solar arena, and we continue to evaluate and intend to pursue that option.